The Last Hero, Episode 6, The Warrior and the Flame. The night was quiet. A rare peace had fallen across the kingdom, but within the walls of a stone chamber deep in the castle, Merrick listened without a word, eyes locked on his father. Damien, for the first time, told a story he had kept in silence for over 2 decades. A story of monsters, kings, and a love that burned brighter than destiny. The Cave of Drakaz. Damien's voice grew low and distant, like it was echoing from another life. When your uncle, King Altheon, and I accepted the king's offer to face Drakaz, we thought we understood fear. We were wrong. The Cave of Drakaz was carved into the bones of a mountain, a graveyard for the brave. 1,000 swords rusted in the earth, the bones of kings and warriors, women and beasts, scattered like sand. Yet we stepped forward, not because we believed in victory, but because we chose to die like warriors, not cowards. And then we saw him, Drakaz the Devourer. He rose from a pit of black flame, his body long and scaled like a serpent, 6 glowing eyes burning with ancient madness. His arms dragged against the stone, long enough to pull towers from the sky. His voice was destruction itself. When he spoke, it felt like the end of all things. "You come to bleed," he roared. "Good. I hunger." Altheon froze. I saw it in his eyes. He could not move, not out of weakness, but because Drakaz's very voice killed hope. But I stepped forward. I spoke, word by word, like lifting boulders with my mouth. I told him, "I do not fear you. I do not kneel to monsters. If we fall standing." The fight of fire and frost. Then he attacked. He vanished, became a wolf of smoke, then a knight of flames, then a mirror image of me, wielding my own face, my own voice. That was his greatest magic, becoming your fear. Fire rained from the ceiling. Ice burst from his claws. Walls shattered. I was thrown, burned, crushed. But even through the flames, I saw Altheon, still frozen, unable to move. So I did the only thing I could. I stood. I roared louder than his curses. I charged him, blade drawn, and fought. It was not a battle. It was a storm. I was bleeding, coughing fire, but I did not stop. And when he tried to take the form of Altheon, to break my mind, I laughed. "You think I fear him?" I said. "He is my brother. Even in his death I will stand." And with that I plunged my sword into the center of all his forms, a glowing eye that pulsed like a heart, and Drakaz screamed. He burned from the inside out, smoke, ash, rage, and then silence. The return to Maudit. We carried his head back to Maudit. The people wept, some screamed. Many thought it was a trick, that such evil could not die. The king welcomed us with gold and tears, a celebration unlike any before. That night there was a feast, a ceremony, a moment meant for heroes. But I did not feel like one, until I saw her. Her name was Princess Malika, your mother, sister of the king, light in human form. The moment I saw her, it was like the battle was not the end of something, but the beginning. Altheon pulled me aside. He said, "You have a choice, brother. Take the crown, become ruler. You would lead better than I ever could. Or take my sister's hand and live as you wish. But beware, both paths carry a curse." He was right. He always saw what I could not. Two fates. If I had taken the crown, I might have ruled, made Maudit strong, but the oracle whispered that a darkness would rise that even I could not stop, that Maudit would pay a price for my pride. But if I chose Malika, I would have peace, love, light, but not for long. The oracle said, "She will not live to see the next moon of your firstborn." I chose her. And for a time, I was more than a warrior. I was a husband, a father, a man. Assured the palace. I gave up titles. I built us a life far from the throne. And when you were born, Merrick, you glowed like the sun through fog. Your mother cried, she told me, "He will save what we could not. He will finish what we began." And then she fell ill, a sickness no blade could fight. And as she passed, she made me promise. Damien's voice broke. Do not let him be swallowed by the palace. Do not let him forget he is light, not shadow. The end of the tale. So I hid you, trained you, protected you from the wolves that smile like kings. But fate has its own plans. He looked up at his son, eyes full of pride, sorrow, and something unspoken. That is the truth, Merrick. You were born not just of me, but of her, of fire and hope, of courage and love. And now it is your path to walk. Now Merrick knows not only the prophecy, but the full truth of his blood, his mother, and the secret past of his father and uncle. The fire that once defeated a monster may now burn again inside him. And far beyond the mountains, Dazaz marches, closer every day.